Out here in Wyoming, we live by simple rules: respect the land, mind your water, and don't mess with a rancher's line. But one morning, I woke up to a dry well and a fat water bill. That's when I discovered someone was stealing from me. Not just anyone, an HOA president with a garden to impress, and no idea what she'd just started. This isn't just a story about water. It's about pride, justice, and one hell of a surprise. My name is Colt Ramirez. I'm a fourth-generation cattle rancher in Laramie, Wyoming. Life out here isn't for the faint of heart, especially in winter. The cold doesn't care who you are. Out here, your survival depends on grit, family, and the land. That's why the morning I turned on my tap and nothing came out, my stomach sank, not just from inconvenience, but from instinct. Something wasn't right. I brushed my teeth with bottled water and checked the well tank. Bone dry. I checked the meter. My water usage had doubled. But this wasn't a leak. I would have smelled it, seen it. I knew every pipe, every trench on my land. So I spent the day tracking the lines. It was near sunset when I found a forgotten irrigation spigot, half buried near the north pasture. The pipe had been tampered with, cleanly, recently. It didn't lead to one of my troughs. It extended under the fence line, beyond the old property markers, and into the neighboring subdivision, Rosecrest Heights. A row of pristine homes lined with symmetrical gardens and plastic mailboxes, the HOA's crown jewel. There, nestled among a bed of manicured roses, was a brass tap, polished, functional. I watched as an automatic timer clicked on and began spraying my water across the HOA's common flower beds. And sitting comfortably on her porch, lemonade in hand, was Karen Delacroix, HOA president, lawn obsessive, and self-proclaimed steward of aesthetics and order. She saw me and waved, like this was normal. I walked up, calm but direct, told her plainly the water line was mine. I had the deed. My grandfather installed that system in 1952. She sipped her drink and said, "You can't hoard resources, Mr. Ramirez. We all share this land." I reminded her, that's not how property works. She told me I should feel proud to contribute to the community's beautification initiative. That night, I didn't sleep much. There's something ancient in the way ranchers feel violated. It's not just theft, it's trespass, disrespect. My family worked this land when most of these homes were still blueprints. She thought I wouldn't fight back, so I did. The next day, I rerouted the illegal tap line to my manure tank. Not the kind of compost you find in garden stores. I'm talking full strength, field-grade cow sludge, what we use to fertilize 200 acres of hay. It took some engineering, but I made it work. Precision timing, no damage, just redirection. The following morning, Karen turned on her fancy tap expecting a gentle spray of water. What she got instead was a high-pressure burst of justice. Her white patio, the front of her house, her prized rose bushes splattered in dark, undeniable sludge. I thought that might end it. But Karen didn't fold. She escalated. First came the environmental complaint. An inspector showed up at my gate with a clipboard and attitude. I handed him my land deed, pointed out the trespass, and reminded him he was on private property. He left faster than he arrived. Next came the smear campaign. Karen took to the HOA forum, branding me a chemical saboteur and hostile neighbor. She tried to rally the subdivision against me, but she made a mistake. She claimed the water connection had been authorized by the HOA board. That was her unraveling. I'd already done my homework. I submitted a public information request. No such vote had taken place. I also had emails from residents who confirmed she acted alone. But the real turn came when a local news station got involved. Karen, never one to miss a spotlight, went live accusing me of bioterrorism. On camera, I calmly handed the reporter a flash drive. It contained everything time-stamped footage of the illegal pipe, emails, maps, deeds, and video of Karen's first confrontation. The segment ran that night. The headline was neutral. The evidence was not. Karen tried to pivot. She called for an emergency HOA meeting, invited cameras, and attempted to paint herself as the victim. I showed up unannounced with my documentation, photos of pipe installations, a zoning map, historical property lines, a notarized statement from the previous land surveyor. The air went still. One board member whispered, "You built this whole place's water system, didn't you?" I nodded. Karen looked away, but she still didn't quit. A week later, she hired a private crew to dig a second illegal line, this one hidden under a community tool shed. I found it. Let them finish. And bided my time. Once it was active, I triggered a reverse surge from the manure tank. The flood wasn't violent, but it was thorough. Her backyard became a swamp of stink. That evening, Rosecrest Heights hosted their annual garden party. Karen stepped outside to give a speech. What she got instead was a swarm of flies, a rotting lawn, and the unmistakable squelch of failure underfoot. Someone filmed it. The video went viral. HOA queen declares garden war and loses. Humiliation wasn't enough. She sued me for emotional distress. In court, she wore black like she was mourning. The judge, unimpressed, reviewed our evidence, the footage, the forged HOA memo, and an email she'd sent calling the whole ordeal a community wake-up call. The case was dismissed. She was fined for wasting court time. 3 days later, she moved out. The HOA board sent me a formal apology. They offered to cover fence repairs. I declined, not out of pride, but because something better had started happening. My neighbor's people I barely knew began showing up. One brought eggs, another brought pie. Then someone came with a toolbox and helped fix a broken gate. People started smiling again, talking again. The fear that Karen had sown into the community evaporated. I didn't need revenge. The truth had done the heavy lifting. All I did was guide it. My ranch is quiet again. The well is full. The roses next door have been replaced by native grass, which suits the land better anyway. I still walk past that brass tap sometimes. It's capped now, useless, like the woman who once controlled it. Some people think justice is about punishment, but I've found it's more powerful when it's about exposure, when the truth makes its way into the light, all by itself. Because in the end, nothing fertilizes change quite like a little pressure and a whole lot of manure.